I've been to probably more than 65 countries at this point, and I still feel like we're more similar than we are different as people. No matter what religion, no matter what culture, we all everybody laughs, everyone loves their families, everybody wants to kind of achieve more in their life, and most people don't want conflict, even if they're in the middle of conflict. I started my career as a newspaper photographer and then covered conflict for many years in the Middle East. I lived in the Middle East for about 6 years. And then from there I started really focusing on gender issues and what life looks like through a girl's lens, especially as a civilian caught in the middle of conflict. My main clients now are National Geographic and the New York Times, and I also run a nonprofit called Too Young to Wed that provides visual evidence of human rights issues that girls face. I found myself naturally drawn to kind of what my experience could possibly be like if I lived in Iraq at the time when I was really beginning my international career, and saw myself many times in the faces and lives of girls who were kind of living a normal life and trying to live a normal life, but with this insane conflict around them. And then I really felt like I wanted to spend my career kind of raising awareness for girls who weren't as fortunate. Well, I actually heard the great photographer Lynn Johnson say this once, and I couldn't agree with her more. She said that it's not what you take from a subject, it's what they give you. And I really think that that's really the magic of great photography, is the relationship you build with your subjects and how much they trust you, how much they want to share with you, that they feel that their story, their kind of image is in good hands. And I really honestly believe that there's a lot of responsibility in what we do, and that trust shouldn't be taken lightly. For me, and this is kind of why we built Too Young to Wed as a nonprofit organization, is to make sure we have follow through with the stories that we do. It's really kind of walking the talk and making sure that we give back to communities, that we're taking the stories from the most vulnerable, that we're exhibiting the work in the places where people will pay attention, and really just understanding that with the power of what this image you've created, that so much can happen from it. Because I started out as a newspaper photographer, I didn't always have time to kind of do 5-day documentary pieces on everybody that we wanted to put in the paper. And so we did a lot of portraits and environmental portraits working. And then I found myself in the field in many different situations, even with more time to spend with people. Sometimes the best way to tell their story was with a portrait, particularly with some of this more sensitive human rights work that I was doing. In the Child Marriage Project, I was able to attend weddings and getting girls getting ready, but many of the times, in many cases, the girls wouldn't be with the husbands. Just culturally, they wouldn't be in many situations where they were standing next to each other. Even during the wedding, sometimes they would have 2 separate weddings. So there was a lot of times I had to kind of use environmental portraits to tell the story, tell to the viewers, and have them kind of understand what the concept was. Printing images is really important. Having a still image that's large and you can look at and absorb yourself into kind of brings you to another level of nuance. Kind of having beautiful prints is a way to express the gravity of the situation you're in and how epic a lot of these situations are, and being able to allow viewers to experience that as well. It sounds a little cliche, but I feel like the more we understand about each other, the more we don't see each other as them and us, and we have commonalities, the more peaceful our world will be.